What's up? Welcome to my channel. My name is Stephanie. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you've seen any of my videos in the past, welcome back. I'm going to quickly introduce myself since I am relatively new in creating content here on YouTube. So yes, I am a certified pre and postnatal performance training specialist, a personal trainer, and a certified holistic nutritionist. So yeah, I'm going to get straight into this video. I post everything motherhood, mental health related, fitness, nutrition, just real life mom life, all right? I'm a mom of two. If you've seen any of my videos before, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since I posted here on YouTube. Life has just been lifing, honestly. Like, things have just been happening in life, in real life. So it is what it is. I haven't really had the energy, but I'm here again. I'm back. I went to a little hiatus, but I'm back. I'm back at it. Today, we are going to get into the things that help me during labor and delivery. I just want to say right now, these are not tips. I don't like really giving tips and tricks. Tips and tricks is not really my style because I just know that everybody's different. Everybody's experience is different. What may work for one person is not going to work for another person. We are all unique individuals living our own lives, living in our bodies. I understand that we are all different, but this is what worked for me. And I am not a doula. I am not a midwife. I am not an OBGYN. I know a thing or two about the anatomy of a woman and the process of labor and the physiology and all of that jazz just from my certification. But once again, I'm not a doula, I'm not a midwife. These are just things that worked for me. Okay, if you see me looking down, that's because I have notes, because I can probably ramble. Especially when I'm talking about things that I am passionate about, and birth is just one of them. These are just things that help me in the process of labor. So this is not necessarily like my birth story, so I'm not going to go full into detail about all of that. If you do want to hear more about my birth story, let me know. I'll definitely post the details so we can share, we can chat it up about that. By the way, this is not in any special order or anything. This is not like this helped me the most, this helped me the least. These all kind of worked together to help me during my experience. So yeah, the first thing that I'm going to talk about is words of affirmation. So this really helped me so much. I actually downloaded this app. If I remember, I'm going to look it up and I'm going to put it on the screen as I'm talking. But this app really helped me kind of develop more words of affirmation specific towards birth and specific towards our bodies as women, and just trusting our bodies in the process and that we are built to birth. And since I am in the fitness industry, I know that mindset is just huge. Like, mindset with anything is really big. So if you can just speak life into yourself, speak positively into the experience, even if you might be going through it at the moment, it's really important to keep your mindset uplifted, just so you can get through it, girl, get through it. I know that it's not easy, but words of affirmation, so benefit. Even if, like, during the process it might be hard to really focus, but if you can just think of one phrase or find one phrase that really helps you and just keep repeating it to yourself, whether it's just in your mind, out loud, so helpful. You can even print out little affirmation cards so you can look at them, whether it's the birthing room, whether it's the hospital, whether it's home. My experience was personally in a birth center, and it was really fast, so I didn't really get the chance to have many visuals around me because it was just night and day. Wherever the case is, I find it's very helpful to print out images of things that you love, images of things that make you feel happy, images of whether it's like another child that you have, or just, an experience, a very happy experience in your life, a place that makes you feel happy, a person, whatever the case is, that whatever it is that brings you joy. You can print those out as well, top of like affirmation cards. I had this app and they had a playlist of so many different playlists actually. This app was very helpful, but one of the playlists was words of affirmation. So it's a playlist of affirmations that you could play during birth, or they also had different frequencies that you could play during birth. Whatever it is that you resonate with, you can choose. And there was just one affirmation that really stuck with me, and it was it's very simple. I'm gonna laugh. It was just like I was just telling myself, I got this. I got this. I'm made for this. My body is made to birth. I'm built to birth. I got this. I'm made for this. My body is built for birth. I was just telling myself that. I don't remember if this was what I said word for word, but I just remember telling myself that I got it. It was in my head that I was saying this to myself, that I got it, that I'm built for birth, that my body is made for this. And I was also affirming myself just as a reminder that I'm not the only one going through this experience, that there are other women who are also birthing in that very moment, maybe earlier that day, maybe hours before, people that are in labor in that same moment that I was, or that will be in labor tomorrow, and that I did it before and that I can do it again. So I was just really reminding myself of those things, and that helped me so much. The next thing that really helped me was a low humming noise / vibration. I was just making this noise that was just kind of very strangely soothing. It was I feel funny doing it, but I remember it so vividly because it was just so comforting for me. And they say you want to generally keep you don't want to scream when you're giving birth. Let's just say that. You don't want to scream. You don't want to panic. You don't want to put your body in a stress state, because it's just going to make your experience even more stressed. And you got to get through it regardless. So, it is what it is. But yeah, I've heard professionals talk about how it's better to keep your humming or your whatever, I don't know what the word for it is, but it's better to keep it at a lower vibration. So for me, I actually naturally did this, but it was just like a That's just kind of what naturally came out. So just keeping that humming just very low and deep helped me so much. I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's just a healing vibration or whatever the case is, but it just helped me so much. Speaking of frequencies, I also had a playlist of healing frequencies and healing vibrations. You can find them on Apple Music and things of that nature. I found some on my app. If you know somebody who has been through labor or who might have a playlist, somebody that you trust, you can kind of tune to that or whatever resonates with you and your energy. But yes, I definitely had a playlist. It helped during the car ride, actually, to the birth center, because it was not easy driving over them like little pothole. I live in New York, so like them potholes here and there, or like turning and swerving, and Lord, yes, that helped a lot. For the most part, I'll get into this in a second, but for the most part, when I'm kind of going through something stressful, or if I am not even just in birth, but in life, if I need to focus on something, or if I'm in a high pressure situation, or if I'm rushing out to do so, I don't know. It's just, I prefer silence. I just prefer, don't talk to me right now. I'm really trying to, do this. Some people want people to affirm them and things of that nature. I just want you to be quiet. So this helped me a lot. This next thing I'm about to mention, which is movement during contractions. Movement during contractions helped me out so much, like you don't even understand. Especially when the contractions were longer in length, like when the contractions, if you gave birth or have taken a birth class or whatever the case is, once your contractions are long and strong and there's less time in between them contractions is now they don't, or surges, whatever you want to call them. Surges is like a better term. I feel like contractions is such like a strong, but like once them surges is long and strong, movement really helped me. And I'm gonna go ahead and do my birth story very soon, because this will make sense if I tell y'all my birth story, so you kind of get the picture a little clearer, my personal experience. But movement helped me so much. I remember when I was once I got to the birth center, when I was about to give birth, there was a moment where they have to monitor you. And for at least 20 minutes. For me, I didn't make it 20 minutes, but was it 20 minutes or an hour? I think it was 20 minutes. I only made it 10 minutes. But anyway, they had to monitor you. And I remember just sitting still for those 10 minutes during my contractions was not it. There were times when, and when I say movement, I'm not talking about like walking around. For some people that could work if you're doing a contraction. For me, it's more like the rocking of the hips back and forth. That really helped me a lot. I was standing in like a hinge position. That really alleviated my cramps, my surges a lot, was being in like a hinge forward position and just really kind of rocking my hips back and forth. I didn't know personally that that was actually a position, a birth position that people use, or like a laboring position. It just kind of came natural to me. I didn't do, the second time around, I didn't do like all the crazy preparation. I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go into this and listen to my body, and whatever my body wants to do, that's what's gonna happen. I did my light homework. I feel like once I start to do too much research, it just becomes like too much. But yeah, I went in, I'm like, I'm just gonna listen to what my body wants to do. I'm gonna know the basics of what I need to know. And I got my doula, which y'all will hear my birth story. But yeah, so movement during my contractions really, really, really helped a lot. And then resting when I didn't have my surges. I alternate the words surges and contractions. You can use what you prefer, but I just kind of alternate between the two. But yeah, so really taking the moment to relax during the little time that you have, especially towards the end of labor, is very, very important. And rest in whatever position feels comfortable for you, whether it's side lying, whether it's a deep squat, whether it's hinge, whatever it is, whether it's hugging your partner. Just take that moment, whether it's sitting on a medicine ball if you can, a Boise ball, take that moment to rest. You don't need it. Now, this is one of the top things I will say that helped me. Let's just say I did most of my laboring at home, and then it wasn't until like I was literally about to give birth, the baby was about to pop out, that's when I headed to the birth center. But hot showers, not warm, hot, like hot. And it's crazy because I unfortunately didn't get the chance to do this with my firstborn, because I was in the hospital and they were monitoring me, because my son, when he was in my belly, his heart rate had dropped. I had woke up crazy, like not crazy, but I had woke up very swollen and red one day, and it just felt funny. So I went to the hospital and they monitored me, and they saw that my son's heart rate had just dropped real quick. And yeah, I was just monitored the whole time, which was very uncomfortable, and they had to induce me. And so I had to labor, and they had to break my water for me, and I had to labor lying down. I didn't have any freedom to do anything, so it was not it. Like, I didn't have the proper experience or the opportunity with my firstborn to get in a tub or a hot shower or whatever the case is, and I had no idea how much magic this thing works. No idea how it's literally magic. Like, it's this natural pain relief, like this magical pain relief. Like, for me, it literally completely like eliminated my pain in my lower back. Like, for me, my contractions were I could feel them in my lower back, obviously my pelvic area. It just completely eliminated it. It was like magic. I just had my shower going like on my lower back, and I was just in there. I was laboring in the shower like practically the whole time. Once them contractions like really hit, I was just in the shower, and it just helped so much. I was in the shower the whole time doing my humming. That hot shower. And as soon as we were able to go to the birth center, I was like, yo, I'm gonna get in that tub the moment we get there, because the car ride, I was just, even though it was not a long car ride, I was just like, yo, the moment I get to the birth center, I am going straight in the tub. I wanted to do a water birth. Hot water showers. Oh my God. That I can say was my number one thing. I can definitely say that. Hot water shower or hot water on your low back. Whew. I can remember, it was just so much relief. All right, next I will say was stillness. Stillness and silence helped me out so much. I remember, I think we were in the car and my husband was saying something. I don't remember exactly what he was saying word for word. All I remember was him saying something to me, and I was like, I can't talk right now. Like, please don't talk to me right now, because it was just not it. And I remember telling my doula that, like, talking sometimes okay, but if I'm in my contraction or my surge, please, like, don't talk to me while I'm having surges. Words of affirmation, I don't know. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's just, don't talk to me while I'm having surges. Don't do it, because I just prefer stillness, maybe some, frequencies playing, maybe some healing frequencies playing in the background or something of that nature. But words, I don't want words. No words. No words. So that was something that helped me, helped me. But if you were talking to me during the surge, I would probably be annoyed. Luckily, they didn't really, no one was really talking to me during surgery. So. And another thing was breath work. So I used to practice breath work that was specific for birth and surges a lot, and because I didn't want to tear, all right? I was trying to, like, really focus on how to, connect my mind to my pelvic floor, and I would practice on the toilet. Okay, so I would practice my breath work on the toilet, and I would actually practice not pushing, not the traditional pushing. So I'll get into that in just a second, but breath work really, 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 really helped me a lot. So I would have my breath work and my my humming, my breath work. That helped me a lot as well, especially when it came time to getting baby out of the birth canal. So yeah. Speaking of breath work, if you're interested in breath work, once again, the app that I used, they have a lot of birthing professionals who do live things on the app. They put, like, different programs and different classes that you can take. They have birth classes on there. They have breath work classes on there. Some are paid for and some are free. I did a lot of the free ones, and I kind of nitpicked and took what I could out of everything. But yeah, it was a great resource. They also have hypnobirthing. So a friend of mine, she really benefited from hypnobirthing. I wanted to do hypnobirthing, but it was just, I don't know what happened for me in that, but I never got to it. But for me, the breath work really helped, and in combination with the affirmation and the humming. Those three together and the frequencies really got me into a very calm state. Actually, the midwife and the doctor at the birth center were so surprised that I was actually as dilated as I was because of how calm I was. Or how calm I seemed to be. I mean, I was calm. I was not, like, freaking out or anything. That's the last thing you want to do is freak out. You're just going to tense up your body and make it worse. But I was trying to really make it as tranquil as I could, But they were surprised I was as far along in labor that I was, because I was like, to them, I didn't seem like it. I was just so calm. They were like, what? That's why they were, like, monitoring me and stuff not for so long, it was 10 minutes, but they were trying to do 20 minutes. But I was like, nah, I'm about to give birth right now on this table. But yeah, that app also has hypnobirthing courses as well. If you are interested in hypnobirthing and you want to know more about that, I'll post the app. I'll post some resources with hypnobirthing as well. I know that helps a lot of women so much tremendously. And know that your birth experience doesn't have to be what everyone projects birth to be. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it is what it is. You do experience what you experience. It's birth, but not all birth experiences are this terribly painful thing. And I believe that some people go through more strenuous experiences than others. But I feel like it all starts in your mind. And that's just on surface level. Let me just say that. That's just surface level because, like I said, everybody's experience is different. Yeah, I'm not going to get too deep into that. I'll go into my birth story in the next video. But yeah. And another thing for me was a low light environment. When I was in the hospital with my first, that's why I want to post my birth story, because I've had two very different birth experiences. I have two children. My first experience was in the hospital. My second experience was in the birth center. And I'll go into depth with both of them and kind of compare them. The low light environment, when I gave birth to my firstborn in the hospital, I didn't really have much of a choice for a certain amount of my labor experience. It was not completely a low light environment. Oh God, I just randomly thought about the details of the experience. But anyway, I don't want to think about that. Obviously, I did not have the best experience in the hospital. All right, so the video got cut off, so I'm going to quickly run through it. My last two things. One of them is breathing instead of pushing. Now, traditionally, especially in the hospitals, you're told to push, push, push. You really don't want to push because that's like really straining your muscles and things of that nature. You're kind of just like really kind of forcing yourself, and you want to really be relaxed. So you want to really let your pelvic floor relax, like fully open up and relax to allow baby to leave the birth canal. So I was thankful that I learned to breathe and relax instead of tighten up and push, like, you know what I mean? Push, push. No, so I learned to really target my breath towards guiding the baby out. And TMI, I practice on the toilet. So before this video got cut off, I went into depth about when you're on the toilet and you're taking a number two, you ain't got nobody telling you push, push, push. No, especially if you're constipated. TMI, but you get that little stool or whatever the case is, you prop your leg. If you didn't know this, now you know this is a way to help your body to let your poop out if you're constipated. But put your legs up. It's kind of like getting you into a deep squat position. Relax your butt muscles, your anal cavity, and let that bad boy come out. You don't want to push when you're taking a poop, because why are you going to get hemorrhoids? You don't want hemorrhoids. Same thing when you're giving birth. You don't want to push, push, push. When you're giving birth, you're going to tear, you're going to get hemorrhoids. Not pretty, not pretty. Hemorrhoids are normal, I guess, but yeah, you don't want to just strain your muscles so much where you tear and you get hemorrhoids. So I was thankful that I became aware that I could breathe through my contractions or my surges, and I didn't have to push, and I learned the alternative to pushing. I practiced the breathing technique, and there were specific, I'll link the video down below, or whatever the case is that I watched. I think it was on YouTube actually, by a doula. I think she was a doula or a midwife, and she talked about breathing instead of the traditional pushing, and I'll link that video down below because it was very helpful for me, and I learned and I was able to practice on the toilet during my third trimester. So the next thing was, yes, it has to do while breathing, while pushing. So I was able to listen to my body's natural urges during my contractions to help guide baby out of the birth canal instead of traditional pushing. But I also didn't have someone telling me or like forcing me to push. And that being said, I also didn't have an epidural. So I was able to listen to my body telling me and naturally just letting or guiding my baby out. If you have an epidural, I'm not shaming epidurals and not shaming any type of pain relief. Do what works for you. If you are in an unbearable situation, do what works for you. I personally didn't need an epidural, so I had the opportunity to listen to what my body was telling me, as opposed to if you do have an epidural, you will be numb, so it might be a little bit harder for you to do what I'm about to explain, because you're not going to really feel yourself from like waist down, depending on if it works for you, because I've heard instances where the epidural doesn't fully work for certain individuals, and you know, they felt it anyways. In some cases, the epidural worked great for somebody and they didn't feel anything. But yeah, I didn't have an epidural, so I felt my body telling me when I needed to breathe and when I needed to just relax so baby could come out. But yeah, I was lucky because, you know, in the hospital, doctors would be like, push, 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 don't push, push, don't push. I was able to just listen to my body, and you know, it guided me. It just really, your body's gonna tell you, like if you're on the toilet and you're taking a poop, like you ain't got no one to, like no one's gonna tell you when your poop needs to come out. Your body knows when to let that poop out. You're not gonna be like, if your body needs to take a poop, it's gonna take a poop. You're not gonna stop halfway through your poop. It's almost like, don't push, don't let your poop out. What? It's coming. Like, you know what I mean? Or, you know, someone telling you when to push. You feel the urge to use the bathroom, you feel your bowels, you're like, all right, I'm gonna go to the toilet, and boom, it just happens. That's kind of weird analogy to birth, but yeah. Luckily, you know, the people who were there for me at the birth center were on the more holistic side, so they kind of, you know, allowed me to listen to my body. In certain instances, the midwife would be like, don't push. But I did listen to her in those instances because I was not trying to tear, because they were literally trying to help me, really open me up, massage me, and baby girl came out like this. So I had to really open up to allow her, not only her head, but her hand and her whole arm to come out. And I was not trying to tear that much, so I still tore, but because of how she came out. Had she not come out like this, I probably would not have torn, but they were trying to position baby, get baby out smoothly. So I did listen when she told me not to push. When they instructed me to push, though, I remember there was an instance where my body didn't feel the urge to. I literally couldn't, because it was just like, I don't know, my body was just not allowing me. So I waited till my body felt the urge to guide baby out, which was during the contractions. Usually that's when my body felt the need to like really get baby out. But yes, those were the main things that really helped me during my birth experience, during labor and delivery. I hope this helps you in some way or another. Once again, these are not tips, tricks. This is not, I understand that everybody has a different experience, but this is what worked for me. If you can take something away from this, great. If you are a new mama, congratulations. If you are expecting your second, third, fourth, fifth, still congratulations. And this is another new chapter in your life, another new experience. So I'm excited for you. If you already had your baby, congratulations. Don't matter if they're 5, 15, whatever, you know. Feel free to comment down below what helped you in your experience, what worked for you, what didn't work for you. I want to share experiences and really create this mom tribe. We gotta, you know what I'm saying, stick together. If you enjoyed this video and enjoyed this type of content, don't forget to hit that like button. If you think that this is going to be helpful for somebody that you know, feel free to share it, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that post notification button, because I'm going to be doing my best to be dropping weekly